From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. Pope Francis, the Catholic Church's first Latin American pontiff, who charmed the world with his humble style and concern for the poor, has died, as announced by Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the Vatican camerlengo. He was 88. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the home of the Father, said Cardinal Kevin Farrell in an announcement of the death. Francis, who suffered from chronic lung disease and had part of one lung removed as a young man, was admitted to Gemelli Hospital on February 14th for a respiratory crisis that developed into double pneumonia. He spent 38 days there, the longest hospitalization of his 12-year papacy. The Vatican has said that the general public will likely be able to pay their final respects starting Wednesday. The date will be confirmed when cardinals gather Tuesday morning for the first time since Francis's death to make the first decisions about funeral plans and other urgent matters. No date for the funeral has been announced, but it must be held between 4 and 6 days after the death. In 15 days, the College of Cardinals will determine who will be the next pope. LGBTQ plus groups are also grieving over the death of Pope Francis. A member of a UK-based Catholic group, said to be the first to have met the Pope in Rome, has recalled his warmth and hailed the radical transformation in welcoming everyone into the church. Members of LGBT plus Catholics Westminster shook hands with and had their picture taken with Francis by the Vatican photopaper in an amazing surprise encounter in 2019. The group's secretary recalled how the Pope had told them in a brief meeting after a morning audience in St. Peter's Square that it was wonderful to hear they were an officially recognized group. Martin Pendergast, secretary of the group's pastoral council, told the PA news agency it was just amazing. I mean, we couldn't believe it was happening. It was a brief encounter, but there was a warmth, and he shook hands with everybody. When I explained that we were an official ministry of the diocese, he said, "That's wonderful, that's wonderful." Asked about the significance of the occasion, Mr. Pendergast, an ordained priest who no longer carries out active ministry, said he believed it was the first time an LGBT group had met and been pictured with the Pope. He said he'd met various individuals, always on a very, very private kind of basis, but the fact that this was a public occasion and photographs were being taken by the Vatican photographer, and of course, when the photographs were made available, they went viral and provoked all sorts of reactions from right-wing Catholics across the world. 6 years earlier, in his first year as head of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis was reported to have indicated he would not judge priests for their sexual orientation, saying, "If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge?" In other news, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth created another Signal messaging chat that included his wife and brother, where he shared similar details of a March military airstrike against Yemen's Houthi militants that were sent in another chain with top Trump administration leaders, according to the New York Times. A person familiar with the contents and those who received the messages, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive matters, confirmed the second chat to the Associated Press. The second chat on Signal, which is a commercially available app not authorized to be used to communicate sensitive or classified national defense information, included 13 people, the person said. The person also confirmed the chat was dubbed Defense Team Huddle. The New York Times reported that the group included Hegseth's wife, Jennifer, who is a former Fox News producer, and his brother, Phil Hegseth, who was hired at the Pentagon as a Department of Homeland Security liaison and senior advisor. Both have traveled with the Defense Secretary and attended high-level meetings. That's the news at this hour. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Now, back to more music on PEP Radio.